Okay, we're all set. I'll transfer back to you, Sam.
Right, perfect. Thank you, Caitlin.
Of course.
Let's see. And if I wanted to put something on the screen, if I share my screen, it should go with it, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's. Okay. Great. Welcome everyone to our September leadership team meeting. Yeah, I was saying before, because we are in the process of having new members join our leadership team, we have a bit of a smaller group today, but yeah, thanks everyone for being here. My icebreaker question for this morning is if there is an unusual food combination that you enjoy. And just like something that's a little bit weird, but it really, that you like. I'll give an example.
I got it already. I do too.
All right, well then maybe I don't need to give an example.
No,
Okay.
embarrass yourself first.
Right, yeah. I love tahini and I will put it on like anything. So like yogurt and granola, like add some tahini to it. Sometimes I was thinking about this morning because Avery made Avery French toast for breakfast. But like I'll usually put tahini on my French toast, maybe with some date syrup instead of maple syrup. Yeah, I feel like there are lots of other uses, but it's always like this is a little weird, but I'm just gonna throw the tahini in. So yeah,
Like a little peanut butter with it.
yeah, a little nutty, creamy kind of flavor into it. Yeah. You want to go bring?
Yeah, mine is not that, it's no tahini on French toast, but I really like, for some reason, the combination of like, like the hard Snyder's pretzels. I really like eating those with a glass of orange juice. For some reason, the combination of that really works for me. I do it infrequently, but I sincerely enjoy it.
That's very different.
I don't know why.
Okay. I used to work at Pizza Hut back in the day, and I always had jalapeno and pineapple pizza. I just love the two together.
Yeah, that's not
Okay.
That's great.
I don't look at you guys a little differently.
Yeah.
So I think mine is strange, but I think it's common. So I like,
I'm so excited.
I really like French fries and ice cream. See?
That was mine too.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, and especially like, so I don't really eat fast food, but I will go to Wendy's and get like a chocolate frosty and the fries, and it's a perfect combination.
I don't know if everyone likes that, but it turns out my husband doesn't. He thinks it's actually repulsive, and it was weird to me.
Yeah, when people mention it, I'm like, I mean, when I mention it, people are like, that you don't, I'm like, no, you've never been to Wendy's. But yeah, that's where it started.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. I've never tried vanilla. I like, the only time I eat chocolate ice cream is with my French fries or with cake.
Okay.
I only eat vanilla ice cream, give me a big story of my life. Vanilla ice cream if it's chocolate syrup on it.
Oh.
Not mine.
Chocolate.
Chocolate syrup. I know, I'm a super picky eater, so like I'm an apple orange kind of person. But like, don't venture off into all those other fruits, even though everyone in my household eats like all the fruits. The kiwis and apricots, all the others, apples and oranges, preferably red or maybe Granny Smith's. If I have to, if that's all we got.
It's funny when.
You got a new one, Shannon?
Good. That's good. It's very good.
The
That's yours.
frosty French fry combo.
That was
Yeah.
my first choice. I was trying to think of something else, but that was my
Yeah.
the French fries and the frosty, but I'll also do like like, I think it's like soft serve is the core of it, like
Yes.
soft serve
Yeah,
and French fries
yes.
would also be very
Yes,
good.
absolutely.
Like even if you dip it, but even if you just sort of eat them together,
Yes.
like it's
Oh,
the fried
good.
and crispy with the creamy.
Yes, it is the soft serve. You're exactly
It's
right.
so good.
Mm. I need that today.
It sounds really good.
And you have one?
I don't feel like any of the things I like are that weird, but I will say that when I'm on vacation, I really like eating grape nuts ice cream,
Mm.
which is, I guess, a New England thing. Just vanilla ice cream with grape nuts mixed in, which grosses my son out so much, but there's something about like the malty flavor of the cereal that just works really well in ice cream.
We only eat it on vacation.
It's not, I can't buy it.
Oh, okay, so you would
Probably-
eat it at other times.
I probably, if I was ambitious enough, could just go out and buy myself a box of grape nuts and
Yeah,
use
that's
it in
good.
place of the chocolate syrup, but I've never tried that.
Where do you vacation at usually when is it?
It's a Cape Cod.
Just a
vacation
Cape
for
Cod.
me. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't need to unmute here. Rachel, you have one to share?
Okay, cool. Well, Anne makes me think of, did you guys ever like mix cereals together as a kid? Like different kinds of cereals? That's kind of mixing
Oh,
a little
no.
bit. Or well, that's strange. My other one was gonna be peanut butter on pancakes. So kind of copying everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm not picky though, so I'll eat anything.
Nice. All right, well, thanks for sharing, everyone. Got maybe some new ideas to try, or just, yeah.
I know where to bring all of my eggs.
Absolutely. Yes, I'll happily take it. All right, doesn't look like we have anyone here for public comment. So we can move on to approval of the August meeting minutes. Can pull those up here. Last time we met, we had Patrick Walsh from Martha's Choice Pantry and Aubrey D'Angelo from the policy team in the commissioner's office. And most of the discussion was about kind of snap cuts and response that we're seeing there. Yeah, anyone questions, edits to the minutes? Right, all those in favor of approving the August minutes? Rachel, do yeah, okay, great. So, minutes are approved unanimously. We can go to the working group updates. Food security working group update. There is not much to share because I had to cancel our September meeting. So we'll be reconvening in early October. But yeah, not much to share since the last time, which is that, we're kind of like starting to hone the focus a little bit more. But yeah, that's about it. In terms of the farmer development working group, we had a good meeting a few weeks ago. I think we're kind of, it seemed like moving forward with this idea of a farmer mentorship program, which basically we had come up with a list of like 6 different kind of projects or ideas, and we're kind of evaluating each of them and thinking about which ones seem like they might be more impactful or more relevant. There were a few that was like, okay, we definitely don't need to create another resource guide. Those exist. We kind of point people to those. And then there was kind of some recognition that like all of the pieces kind of need to happen at the same time. So if we do a mentorship program, then we want to have some other things in place so that once new farmers finish being mentored, that there are kind of other opportunities available for them. And that kind of just bringing more farmers together, hosting more events, building that kind of community will help kind of with the success of the mentorship program and stuff too. So kind of still like teasing the details out a little bit, but I think, yeah, moving forward with the mentorship idea. So, Rachel, do you have anything you would add from our last meeting?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to Sam because Sam, as you mentioned, just came to that meeting with a lot like really specific meetings, and I felt like the whole hour, like it was just a lot of really good conversations, and I don't know, the energy of that group feels really exciting, and so yeah, it helps to have like really specific like prompts to get into the nitty gritty. So.
Have you thought about mentorship, like training people how to be mentors and how to be mentees at all?
No, that's a really good point.
I only ask because I'm in a mentorship program now, and there's through a professional association, and the people that organized it sent out like a bunch of slides on like, okay, so this is, what you need to talk about, like what are the ground rules of the relationship you're gonna have, like when are you gonna meet, like these kinds of things, and then like what are you trying to figure out, and like make that clear, what will success look like all these things that feel kind of common sense, but like it really helped to have some kind of a structure for both people to agree to. And I'm happy, I don't know how translatable those things are to this context, but if they seem like they might be helpful, I'm happy to share materials.
I was gonna say, I trained the county probation office on the mentorship program that I used to run at the county jail. So there's a lot of volunteer training, guides that I have similar to pretty much everything that you just said. So I have some slides. I'm also available to assist if you need any assistance with it.
Great. Thank you both for, those are really good suggestions. Rachel, go ahead.
Yeah, this makes me think of a point that I'm curious to get all of your perspective, because one piece was like, do we limit it to people to farmers or like the mentees who are living in Montgomery County right now, or farmer or like, people who want to buy a farm in Montgomery County in the future. Like I remember that was like a kind of a conversation we didn't quite land on an answer, I don't think. I'm curious if anyone, like how would we, just, I guess, what's the boundary there in terms of geographic restraints?
I think you could learn something really helpful from a mentor if you were looking to get into farming in Montgomery County. Like you could build a network that way and start to about who to talk to and like what processes they went through. So to me, it makes sense to be broad, but what do you?
I think, I feel like the same, and see who you get. Let's see who actually applies, and then feel like you need to tweak it. I don't know, did you hear that, Rachel?
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, and like, not without being too strict, maybe we would just ask like, okay, what do you like about Montgomery County, or like some sort of, question to gauge that, they actually really want to be here in the future. So to kind of test their familiarity or make sure that they want to, actually be here.
Well, it probably wouldn't benefit them that much if they didn't want to.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, a farmer is a farmer in some regard, right?
Are you gonna have people kind of sneaking in?
I mean, yeah, maybe I'm being overconfident.
No, I have no idea.
Well, I think like there could be, let's say, urban farmers in Philly who are looking to kind of expand or scale up, in places outside of the city where there's access to larger areas of land.
Right.
That could be like a really good candidate for a mentee.
Definitely.
But, whether they are specifically looking in Montgomery County or just open to kind of, 1 to 3 acres of land somewhere near Philadelphia. I think that's the kind of question. I don't know, I'm kind of curious, Christy or Anne, if you have more experience kind of with county programs and what guidelines yeah, might be in place for a situation like that where someone who like could end up going through this program and then becoming a farmer in Montgomery County and contributing to the community and economy and all that. Or they could not. And then it wouldn't be like a significant investment in our time and resources to, but
But
Yeah.
there's no financial
right.
Yeah,
benefit for them.
I guess I would say the same thing. We have educational courses, one-night programs, and we don't limit the registrants to just county residents.
Yeah.
You can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I guess to me, this is no different.
Okay. Great.
Well, that's great.
I wonder if there might be an opportunity for all of the mentees to hear like something, like a little snippet from all of the mentors, maybe some sort of like event or something. 'Cause I have the impression that they're like modern farming has all these different ways that people are making the revenue side of it work. And I hear like there are like really different strategies around that. It might be helpful for people to see like, and maybe that's just a flyer, but like it might be helpful for people to see like, oh, look, there are these 8 different options where I can make this work revenue wise.
Yeah, we had talked about that having, if we're gonna have 5 mentor and mentee kind of partners that throughout, whatever the duration of the relationship is gonna be, that there would be, maybe a few events where like all of them come together. You can get some of that kind of perspective from each of the different farms there. But yeah, it's a good suggestion.
Big close to farm visits.
Yeah, there are a few other kind of similar mentorship programs that I think we're gonna start looking at. Just, to the points that Bree and Carla made earlier about kind of training or preparation for both the mentors and the mentees. So yeah, I'll be curious to ask those other programs, kind of how they approach that, how they manage that. But yeah, as that idea takes a little bit more shape, we'll probably be coming back to take you both up on those offers for some other resources or training around that.
And would some angle of this be to find new farmers to take over existing operations for someone who may not have transition plan in place? Like a farmer who doesn't have any family members who want to take over a farm.
I think that could be. I'd say that wasn't kind of the like primary intention, or wasn't something. I don't think that really came up during our discussion about it. One thing I hadn't thought about, but Julie from Pennypack Farm brought up, like, they have a bunch of seasonal workers that they hire every year, and every year they also turn away a bunch of people who apply. And so, she was saying like something like this could be a good opportunity, whether it's the mentorship program, or this is part of, some of the other kind of pieces just of like the partners who are at the table kind of aligning ourselves a little bit more to be able to catch some of those folks and connect them with other opportunities to learn how to farm.
I also wonder what happens to the people who do get hired to work at places like Pennypack and then outgrow the opportunities there. Like, I assume that Julie basically trains young people how to farm, but then what? I imagine that we lose some portion of those people once they've learned everything they can.
Right. Yeah, so that's more of what I have in mind for the mentorship program. Like, okay, you've finished, either you're going through a farming season or you finished a farming season, you want to figure out kind of what's the next step. Having someone that can help like hold your hand through the process and connect you with some of the different resources or opportunities that are available. So going back to your original point, I think, the kind of transition or connecting some of those folks to, older farmers who are maybe looking to retire and transition out. That seems like another kind of piece of the puzzle that yeah, hadn't really thought about as much, but I think would be a good one to, I don't know if through the farmland preservation program, you know, you know some of those farmers.
Well,
I don't really, but
I know that we have landowners who don't do the farm.
yeah,
My colleague Steve would know more than I do, but I've been helping out with farm inspections, and so this topic comes up, like I'm getting old, and there's no one in the next generation who would take over this farm, or wanted to stay a farm. So they may have someone helping them with the farming side of things, but I would think that there is room to grow there. There are opportunities to become someone's farmer without owning the land.
Right.
Initially.
yeah, I think that's exactly the kind of thing that, you know, in addition to the mentorship program, we need to kind of have some more alignment of those and just kind of understanding of those resources so that, because something that's come up in some of our meetings is, you know, whether it's someone from PASA Sustainable Ag or someone from the USDA saying they get lots of different inquiries from people, you know, kind of at all stages of life and all types of experience, kind of looking to farm. And so having just like a clearer sense of what basically kind of what all the options are so that when someone comes in, you know, you can assess basically what their needs are, what their kind of experience level is, and then kind of refer them to the right pathway. So I think that's part of, part of the work that this group will be doing in addition to just kind of setting up a mentorship program. How did I do, Rachel? Anything else?
I was just thinking, well said, but yeah, I mean, I think that the pathway piece is really like taking like the resource guide to another level, right? It's like, you know, step one is this, step two. I mean, I feel like that doesn't exist, and or I haven't seen a place like this, a you know, guide like that. So, you know, it's like go to become a mentor, then like maybe rent land at Tavares Homestead or like work at Penny Pack, or you know, there's like specific steps to go through, I think is what we're leaning towards. So I think
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah. Any other thoughts or questions about farmer development working group? Great. Well, thanks. I feel like this is a really good example of how this all should be working. You know, like we have some discussion in the working group, and then we bring it back here, and you guys are like, oh, well, here's some other ideas and things, you know, that can further that conversation. So, yeah, thanks for all the input. Okay, so then the last working group update is the network development one. We have our survey that's out still. We have, as of this morning, we have 37 responses, which I think is a pretty good response rate. Love to get a few more. I think we're meeting network development group meets next week. So I think the goal is during that meeting to start to look at the results, you know, what people are saying. Yeah, we kind of went back and forth about like, is it a hard deadline that we're like closing the survey, or are we gonna like maybe keep it open and get some more feedback? But so not totally, I guess maybe we'll also discuss that next week, but yeah, definitely interested in looking at those results. So I did want to say, I want to encourage everyone on the leadership team, if there are, to share the survey out, basically. You can do that today or Monday before Thursday.
And has everyone taken it here? Like pass it out. Does everyone have the link here? I can put it in the chat. Well, I guess no one else is on Zoom, but here's the form.
Development meeting is on Yom Kippur.
That's great.
like that.
Hmm.
Wait, what was
Yeah.
the question again?
The next network development, meeting is on Yom Kippur. So we should ask if that would, if there's anyone else who would, miss the meeting because of that. And then we can look to reschedule, so.
Sam, I did want to ask if, because you included that, the graphic from the survey of kind of the breakdown of the roles that have filled out maybe the group here has any other ideas or like specific organizations they can send to in the gaps that we have.
Yeah, let me pull it up, to
Okay,
show.
cool.
Right here. So this, it's gotten a little bit better, but, we have, in terms of who's responded to the survey and what, kind of role they play in the food system. Had a number of pantries who've responded, just about a third of the responses, are from pantries. That number was a little bit higher before, the percentage was a little bit higher, so we were really kind of doing outreach and trying to reach, some of the other, sectors that weren't represented. So, I think these numbers look a little bit better, still, a lot from the pantries, but, got a few more, farmers, and yeah, a few more educators, I guess, and, there were a few more zeros, I think. Got a nutritionist and a farmer's market operator to respond, so.
We do like that. Right. I'll try to send some targeted emails out, but
I was just looking for that one.
Yeah, I can send it out, the link to the survey.
so I'm hoping that Commerce Department can send it out to some of the businesses.
Yeah,
And
so
work with,
thanks for sending that to them. Yeah, I wasn't sure, like Carla and Shannon, if what your relationships with any of the, like grocers or retailers that donate food, if you have kind of relationships with any of them. But that's one, I think we've talked about before, I don't have a lot of contacts with,
We can send it out to our rescue, like all the grocers we have rescues with,
yeah,
because I have their contact information.
that'd be great.
Yes.
Great.
That's one I can read.
Perfect. Yeah, send it out to all the the farmers market operators. Hopefully we'll get maybe one or two more responses there. I emailed it to Colleen, but I don't know if you know anyone else in terms of compost or food waste.
In this county.
Yeah. Right.
We
Yeah.
can send it, our farm has some relationships with other, with like some of the compost food waste places. I think I can ask Ellie to send it out. She's on my team.
Great.
Are you interested in the schools too?
In the schools? Sure.
I have Meals on Meals providers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Did you just send the link again, Sam?
Yeah, I'll do it now.
Yeah, Sam, the links that you sent with like the survey flyer, the social media posts, like those are helpful.
Yeah, maybe we can just forward that email.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine.
It's nice and
I think
short.
also, yeah, also a side note, if anyone knows anyone who wants to join the network development group, we've had low attendance lately, so I think we could probably bring on a few more people.
I mean, honestly, I think the network development group is light on the categories of folks who have not answered the survey. So,
That's
maybe we combine the answered survey email with oh yeah, and you can join this committee too.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
All right, well, yeah, so I just sent, should have, it's a link, there's the survey, there's also, a link to the survey, there's a flyer, if it's helpful, for sending it out, and a social media post, if any of you want to repost,
Thanks, Sam.
yeah. Any other thoughts, ideas of places to send, the survey? I guess I can, show you all quickly the, responses so far.
While you're doing that, is it on social media anywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not extensively, but. So when we asked, what type of activities or resources, would you like to see from the Food Policy Council, the number one response so far is a list of resources, technical assistance providers, grants, data sources, etc. So we'll see, if we get a handful more responses, if that changes at all. But that's the top one so far. So that might be what we, that's again, in the network development working group, we'll be then discussing what would this look like. I think last time we talked about Padlet.
Being a Padlet, which
Yeah.
would be so quick and easy.
Yeah.
So intuitive.
Yeah. So that might be something we try to do. All right, any other questions about network development? Thanks. Rachel's been leading the group, so.
Good work, Rachel.
Yeah, go Rachel.
All right, so we can do a few other updates here. In terms of the leadership team seats, we had, everyone's laughing at your comment that just popped up, Rachel. We had 11 applicants for our 2 leadership team seats, and like really good, strong applicant pool. The review committee, which is the 4 of us and Rachel, met last week to review the applicants. I think we have our top 5 or so that we're going to try and do interviews with, yeah, and then we'll reconvene and make recommendations from there. I think because we're adding the interviews in, I think we'll be looking to get kind of hopefully approval in like early November. So then have folks seated, or folks kind of attending their first meeting would be the November leadership team meeting. So I guess I should say those are the 2 like open at large seats. I also spoke with Debbie, who is the new Chief Sustainability Officer for the county, and she is on board to fill John's seat. She wasn't able to come today, but she'll be coming to our other meetings going forward. She kind of has like a background in like food security, more like kind of internationally focused. But yeah, is really interested and kind of passionate about the issue. So I think she'll be a really great addition to the team.
So we'll be filling 2 seats.
Well, we have the 2 like at-large seats that we'll be filling, and then Debbie will also be joining. So it'll be 3 new people. Yeah, yeah. This isn't exactly related to the leadership team, but in terms of other new people, one thing I just wanted to share is that I have through Trellis for Tomorrow, have an intern who's going to be starting working with me on Monday. First day, her name is Maya. It's a short internship that's 6 weeks, like 10 hours a week. But yeah, excited to have someone else on board.
Great.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I had an intern with Trellis for Tomorrow over the summer, and it was a really positive experience. So I hope you have the same.
Thanks, me too.
I was just gonna ask a quick question about your applicant pool, because the county commissioners had some issues previously with the diversity of the makeup of the leadership team.
Hmm.
Will that be a concern this time around? Do you feel like you have a diverse enough pool of applicants to choose from?
I think so.
Yeah, let me pull it up quickly.
Who we're selecting, that's something different, but I think the pool was definitely diverse.
Okay.
What kind of, what kind of diversity are we talking about?
Yeah.
Racial and gender.
Probably racial and gender.
Yeah.
What about age? Just kidding.
I mean, it is just a fact that women tend to volunteer for more things than men do, so this is a gender diversity.
Oh, shoot, I want to not share people's information here. All right, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I have done some, I did like some
No,
analysis.
it's okay, you don't
of-
need to show anything. I want to make sure that the people that you like best are the ones that get through.
Yeah, I had some graphs that were breaking down like the race, gender, and age of the applicants. Unfortunately, it was on the same page that had all of their like, contact information, whatever. So I don't pull that up on
No,
the
that's
screen,
okay.
whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely, I think it was a more diverse applicant pool than the first.
That's good.
Yeah, than our first round. Yeah, which I was
It
definitely
seems
encouraged by.
like the people who are being named to the county board seem to be more explicitly diverse than they have before.
Gotcha.
Themes and, pictures are telling the whole story.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a good point. It's a good question.
Okay.
Any other questions on leadership team selection process?
How are interviews going? Sorry, I had to leave before that was decided. Am I going to, do I need to do that? I'm happy to.
It's kind of up to you. So I think I'll reach out to folks, schedule interviews, and then we'll just share the calendar invites with everyone on the review committee. And then, I think I said there'll be 5 of them, so not an expectation that you will come to all 5 by any means, but ones that you're able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going, did we say we're going to kind of ask the same questions?
Yeah. I need to send out like a follow-up with
Okay,
the questions and see if you guys have feedback on them and stuff before,
Okay.
before we start that process. But yeah. Okay, food systems infrastructure grants, this, I think I put this on here just as a reminder for myself that, so one of the projects that Maya, the intern who's starting next week, is going to be working on is a report on, what the all the applications that we received, what types of projects there were, and we had talked before about that might be helpful for the leadership team to look at and get a sense of, and then was also thinking like, oh, it might be helpful as an external document as well, just to share with people kind of what the process was like and have that information be publicly available. So maybe for our next meeting, or maybe it will be the November one, that hopefully there will be a completed report to share about that. I think that's the only update there. Other than that, like still just kind of doing the paperwork with the grantees to get those projects started. And then last update is we had our core community council meeting this week. That was on Monday at the Pottstown Regional Community Foundation. Yeah, I thought it was a good meeting. I don't know if there's anything you want to share about it.
I'd say we continued to have really good attendance, which is exciting. I was talking with some folks from HealthSpark who have been around and sort of this long-term collaboration between the food pantries and food banks and free meal providers that has sort of evolved with them on. And like, I think this goal of having a county-wide body with everybody has been a really long-term goal, and it hasn't worked in the past, and that it's working, I think is incredibly exciting and just a huge milestone. I think it's really exciting that we're a part of that, and having Montgomery County be a part of it, I think is making a huge difference. We talked a little bit about SNAP changes and resources around that. We shared out, some information about who are the SNAP providers who have county contracts to do SNAP and benefits enrollment, which I don't think all the pantries were aware of, which was really cool. And I wonder if there's some sort of way that those folks can plug in here as well, because they're holding county contracts on food security. Then they're also wonderful people. We had, I think if there was anything else continued, I think there was just a lot of continued engagement and people had a lot of things to share, and it was great to have Lori, the CEO of Phil Abundance, come all the way from Philly for the meeting. And just have lots of people excited to talk about food security and come up with lots of good ideas.
Yeah, thanks, Shannon. Yeah, I don't know, Carl, I know you were there too. I don't know if you have anything you would add about.
No, I think Shannon covered it all. It was nice to see such a large group of people online and those that can make it in person, and I think it was meaningful conversation.
Yeah,
for sure.
Great.
And
Anyone?
it's always nice when the online people actually talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there was chiming in a lot, so I thought that was great.
That was not aimed at you.
Anyone have questions about core community council? Okay. Well then, so yeah, Shannon mentioned we did talk a lot about kind of SNAP during that meeting. We'll kind of pick up on that a little bit in a minute here, but just wanted to do a quick debrief from the general membership meeting, which was last week. Been a lot of meetings, a lot of things going on. Yeah, it was Thursday, the 18th at the I always call it the 4-H center, but I guess it's the farm.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, farm home and youth complex. But I thought it was good. We had also kind of similar to core community council. We had good attendance. I think there were about 30 people that were there. This was our kind of trial run of doing an only in-person and not hybrid. And I thought it worked really well. Kind of a lot of the agenda was about just kind of seeing who was in the room and connecting and having time to chat with each other. And it seemed like that was helpful. Yeah, curious. I know a bunch of folks here were there. Anyone else have kind of thoughts, reflections from the meeting?
I thought it was good, and I like the in-person, and I think it's better to not do the hybrid in that kind of situation, because you can focus on actually all the people that were there in the room and not like technical difficulties.
Yeah, I really appreciated that too, to be in person and have everyone in person. I think do we have the membership meetings like going forward? Do we have those posted somewhere?
No, because they're not scheduled.
Yeah, so I think that would even help if we can or even lots of advance notice for the next one.
Yeah.
Because I really thought that was well attended. And it was good space too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's helpful, it's down the street from my house, but. You can see.
That was the first time doing it at that time of day, right?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that worked for a lot of people. I was teaching, so I couldn't make it, but I'm glad that it was.
That's right, because previously some have been after work. Right?
Yeah, they've been like 4 to 5:30.
Yeah, and I could never go to any of those. Just
Yeah.
personal commitments. but
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was good. Helpful to know.
It's high kid sports season right now, so after work isn't really always best.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that I noted during the general membership meeting, other than agreeing with wanting more advanced notice of the date. The woman who came from the Norristown Area School District.
Nicole?
I don't remember her name, the one who basically said that they want to continue doing summer lunch
Nicole,
programs,
yeah.
but don't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
Seemed like something that we might be able to help find a solution to. I don't know what that would be. Certainly don't have the money to pay for lunches for people, but there's other school districts are still managing to do it, so I'm trying to figure out some assistance with you.
Yeah, we have a meeting with her to see what we can do to help.
Good.
Once we have a budget, but yeah, we have a meeting with her just to see like, what does that look like? What are the specifics? What are the total numbers? What do you usually provide? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'll keep us posted.
Yeah, I did, I know you had mentioned that, so I did reach out to her after the meeting to get some of that information, like how much had you received to run this program before, how many meals did you provide, what it looked like, and yeah, then I had a meeting with Erin Boyle the other day, so I asked her about it at the end. She didn't have too many other ideas, but yeah, so I'm just gonna include you on an email, I think probably to Joe and Aubrey too, and see if they have thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of along that. Oh. Okay. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So I guess Ian talking just brought a thought to mind is that I liked that piece, Sam, where you sort of opened the floor of like almost a mutual aid prompt of kind of what do people need. And I don't remember if you asked this too, but I would be curious if like, we can ask like, what do people have to give too? And I don't know if there's an opportunity to use the general membership meeting to kind of like expand on that of like, yeah, people come into those meetings with like, what do you have to offer and what do you need? I don't know if that's just like a note you send out before, or, I don't know, just wanted to drop that seed to you all.
Yeah, we did that for the first court community council meeting. That's kind of how we,
Oh, yeah.
that's how we started, or it was just an icebreaker kind of thing that we did, but we had people kind of write, what their needs were and what they could offer. And I don't remember how much kind of follow-up there was in terms of like actually connecting people who said that they need volunteers with people who said like, I can help you get volunteers, but yeah, I think that's it would be a good activity in a future general membership meeting to try and do some of that.
I just had an idea about that of what if like, is there a way where maybe we break it into like 4 categories of like, I need labor, I need money, I need resources or something. And then there's like little corners that you go in and like, if you can offer anything, you can go into a different corner too or something. I don't know. But that's cool. I think there's something there.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll have to, like you said, kind of figure out the logistics of it for the next
Yeah.
one. But I think it's a good idea. Were you gonna say something, Carla?
No, I was just saying that, sorry, I was looking at the survey. I forget what I was saying about that. I forget. It was something about the bags, the lunch program. Also introducing Nicole, the goal is to introduce her to, some of the smaller organizations or companies that have like community giving. Because did she tell you how much it costs? Because I don't think it's a lot.
Yeah, I can't
I
remember.
would think it's not that much, and so some of the smaller grants will probably be able to handle it. But anyway, I'll keep you posted. That's great, so I'll say.
Yeah, sounds good.
Try to get that need met, I mean, so.
Yeah.
So it's a needed program in Norristown for these kids to eat during the summer, so.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll get something figured out.
So we had talked about alternating in-person and virtual for the general membership meetings, right? Rather than doing them hybrid. So the next one would just be virtual. And so we probably wouldn't do, the activity that you were just talking about, Rachel. I feel like we'd save that for the next in-person one.
How often are they saying?
Quarterly,
Quarterly.
yeah. Yeah, so I think my thought right now is, try and schedule the last general membership meeting in like December for this year, and then basically like plan as kind of everyone was saying, like plan the 2026 ones and just like say these are the dates where they're gonna be. And then we can figure out the logistics of where and whatever for the in-person ones, but so that there's plenty of advance notice and plan for those. And we can do that with the core community council, so we don't have like this time we had the general membership meeting and then the core community council like 3 days apart, since they're both quarterly. So we'll have to like get them, on opposite months or whatever, just a little bit more advanced.
We also have the Intercounty Coalition 2 days later.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Just driving to Pottstown.
Right. So I guess, does it still sound like a good plan to try and do the alternating in-person virtual, or we could try and only do them in person? I don't know.
Only quarter. I don't know. I think the in-person's nice. I mean,
I
maybe
think
I'm
it
old
should be in
fashioned, but
person.
I think
Well,
like
Yeah,
getting to know people is,
I almost feel like virtual is just not, unless you maybe put us in rooms, like breakout rooms. I don't know. I think there's only 4, right?
Mhm.
Why not in person? Different times I think might be important, the alternate times, daytime and opposed to the evening, to get different people. I would love to see just more community folk.
do you think you got more during the day versus ones that you've done after hours, work hours?
There were definitely more, so because the other ones were hybrid, I know the one in May, we had like, I think it was like 45 people, but only like 10 or 15 were in person, and like 30 were online. Yeah, exactly.
And that was out.
Like to the
And
point where
half
it
of them
felt
were
too
your
small.
students.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had like 3 students there and it felt too small.
The first one, I think the first one was at Martha's Community Farm. I think there were more like 25 people in person and like 40 online.
Oh, wow, so you did a lot more online.
Yeah, that's the trade-off, right? Like a lot more people come online and,
But I think they were able to hear the information, but they weren't engaging, like they
Right.
didn't, but we also had like a snowstorm or something. that
It
day.
wasn't how I
Yeah,
expected.
because I remember saying,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
It was bad. By the time we got out of there, the snow was starting to really fall.
I would take quality of engagement over quantity of attendees, like anytime.
I logged into one, I think maybe the first one. I was online and it was, to your point, like I could hear people talking and stuff, but definitely not engaged. Like I could hear, everybody talking before the meeting and things like that. I don't know how much I got.
Yeah. Like, I think the presentations probably you were able to hear that.
Yeah.
But then like all the other stuff that was happening.
Yeah.
I had an epiphany recently we were at a regional gathering at Mon and one of our coalition meetings on the main line. And I saw 2 people exchange material support. One person said, I need more retail rescue, more access to grocery stores. And we all sort of like thought about it. Like no one really knew any grocery stores. People talked about how do you access retail rescue and what are some procedures. And then someone was like, wait, about once a month, Walmart lets me, access all the meat that I possibly could want. Do you want me to call you? She was like, yeah, I want you to call me. And now there's all this extra meat. But like that moment of like exchanging material support, I don't think it would have happened on Zoom. And so I think if we want material support exchange, if we want ideas exchange, I think that happens really well on Zoom, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but.
no, I think that's exactly right. I think that's part of, they're kind of like in my mind, like two goals for the meetings, and it's those two things, right? Like creating connection and opportunity for collaboration, and then also like sharing information and updates. So, obviously the Zoom works really well for presentations and
Right,
sharing information,
right.
but
Yeah.
similarly from this last meeting, there was, Nicole who mentioned like, we have this need, for this program. So, now we're looking at some potential connections, or someone from the Nutrition Links program at Penn State Extension was like, oh, I've been really wanting to connect with Project Earn. Can anyone connect us there? It's like, oh yeah, Jenny's a part of the leadership team, and like made that introduction. And I feel like there were a handful of those other types of like,
Yeah.
yeah, just like valuable connections that happened. So,
I think Zoom is really good at like one to many, but it's not good at many to many. Where like
Yeah.
your information feels like it has to be the most important thing to like speak up in a Zoom meeting. And a lot of times people think like, I don't know, this is kind of silly.
And we're
Like,
distracted.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if the goal is many to many communication, then we shouldn't have it on Zoom.
Yeah. We're just distracted. We're still in our offices most times, or wherever, your office is, and there's things happening all around you. And you don't always get that complete, paying attention to everything. You're on Zoom. Sometimes your camera's on or off at any given time, or people are like, you're still working.
Yeah.
And I think in person, like, you're able to really engage. My team left that meeting, really excited about the engagements and the conversations that they had. And gave me a list of and people that we need to contact, and I should be having one-on-one meetings with and stuff. So like, those kind of things are really valuable, especially in these times.
Yeah.
So I agree.
What do you think the barriers are to people getting to an in-person meeting? Like, if we feel like that might not be as equitable, what are the barriers? Being able to take a step away from work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extra time it takes to drive.
Yeah.
It's not a financial cost. It's like the ability to be free.
But also just the fact that the county is big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ease of just the fact that you have to have 4 sub-regions of Mon meetings is indicative of the fact that you really have to come from a lot of different places to join one centrally located.
Yeah,
Sometimes it just might be too far.
because you think from Willow Grove to Pottstown,
Mhm.
that's a day trip.
I mean, I've been helping out with farm inspections, and it literally takes me an hour
Yeah.
plus sometimes to get from my house in one corner of the county
Yeah.
out to our farms in the extreme. other
Yeah.
corner of the county. Just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Do we think then about like, there's 4 meetings, can we cut the county into 4s and say like, we're gonna go into each one so that it's not central, everyone's always driving from somewhere, but that one time, at least it's easier for whomever to come?
Yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing with the core community council too. And like when we had our meeting in Pottstown, there was at least one person who was just like, Wendy was like, thanks so much for coming to Pottstown for this meeting.
That's how I would feel too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 and I think when you offer both, we just choose hybrid, like, we just choose to be online, like, probably most times.
yeah, because it's easier.
It's, for me, it's been really hard with, some meetings are virtual and some are in person, and no one accounts for all of our separate calendars. I'm like, okay, so I'll go to, like, leave this meeting, I'll take the next one in the car while I'm driving back to, because we're not accounting for like the drive time and everything. So like, I can't wait till the day where we're just all back in person. Will that ever happen again? But yeah, I think
Not
the 4,
easily.
I think the 4 regions would be good.
All right, cool. That works for me. Yeah, no, I feel like, yeah, moving to all in person makes sense, given kind of like the role and the goals of the council. Yeah, because if it was every other, that would mean it's only twice a year that we're having these meetings that are really bringing together. All right, great. So
So you've been to Audubon,
our park.
Quebec. So you basically have a huge area to choose from. for your next
Yeah, yeah,
meeting.
You made that seem like a great benefit.
Lots of choices.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, we'll figure out the next one and then, for 2026, can try and do some more advanced planning about when we'll be in which region and all of that.
With that said, do you want us to form a meetings committee to help with this?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sam's like, that would be nice.
Unless we just make it part of our next.
On the agenda.
Agenda, and we try to plot out when.
Yeah.
And where.
Yeah.
Cause we got the regions broken down, right?
Yeah.
We'll just follow mine.
Oh, yeah, what are they?
So
What are
we-
the 4 regions?
We go at 5, but
Yeah.
some of them are a little bit closer together. There's, I'd say Western counties, so that's like Pottstown, Collegeville, Pennsburg, but even Pennsburg is really far from Pottstown. Then there's, the, greater Norristown area, basically. And I would say also like, there are some places that are kind of centrally located, like it seems like people can get to King of Prussia pretty easily from elsewhere in the county. And it seems like Montgomery County Community College, people can get to pretty easily from elsewhere in the county. Then we have Eastern, which is like greater Jenkintown area, sort of that area. Then there's Lansdale, Ambler area type thing. And then there's the main line.
And where do you have your meetings?
Each of those 5 regions meet within their region as often as they want. So those are having
At
right
their
now.
office.
And the
They
locations
rotate,
yeah.
they rotate through the pantries and that, but the pantries. When we bring everyone together, we've been sort of been doing like Montgomery County Community College, and then we may do Lansdale sometimes. But it's really hard to get everyone together.
I have an embarrassing question. I don't know what the main line, what is that?
Like
Ardmore.
What is it called?
Narber.
Why do we call it that?
Because we've got a train line that runs through. That's, it refers to the
Yeah, that's where the main line
SEPTA
came
train
from.
line.
The Gwinnetts and
And all of
Ardmore, Narber, Lower King of Prussia
Wayne,
area.
Radnor,
Yeah, Radnor, Devon, well, Devon, Chester County, I guess. When you
but
get that
out,
far.
out the area that parallels the train.
And-
Sorry, Rachel, you've got your hand up.
It's okay. I was gonna say, this is why it's helpful to have a lot of results with the survey, because I think the survey asks about what county that you serve in or you live in, like your work focuses, right, Sam? So
Yeah.
this is just another plug to get your people and involve people that you know. Because then we would be able to see like, okay, we've got a ton of current members in, I don't know, West Montgomery County. Like, so then we could focus our East meeting whenever we go up in the East on like recruitment and like getting more people who live or work over there. So
Yeah, good point. Okay, great. Well, thanks. It's a helpful discussion, just thinking about kind of the role and, the next steps for those meetings going forward. I think unless there's anything else, we can move on to talking about SNAP outreach. But everyone good with that? All right, so as mentioned, we had some conversation about this in the core community council, and I've also just been kind of talking with a bunch of people, like internally and externally, to think about kind of what like the county can do to help with the kind of current SNAP situation. And it seems like the kind of best role for us is helping around communication, just like what the changes are, make sure that folks who are impacted are aware of it, and kind of, as Shannon mentioned, like the resource providers that can help navigate kind of the paperwork and stuff. So basically tried to consolidate some thoughts into this document, which is there are a few different resources that I think are helpful. This is the one that, again, Shannon mentioned that kind of put together just for the meeting last or earlier this week. That lists the contact information for the organizations that offer SNAP enrollment. You know, I think that would want to update this flyer and not have it be connected just to this meeting, but have some more information at the top about changes to SNAP and what folks will need to do. But basically,
I'm sorry, well, I have a person's medical thing. But I will pick it up. It's okay, just diabetes.
yeah,
Just a regular emergency.
she's okay.
No, yeah, her device came off and we need it back on.
Right.
And no one else can do it.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I think trying to get this flyer, you know, making this, like I said, more of a flyer and trying to get it out, I think would be helpful. As well as, there's a form from the Department of Human Services to determine whether you have an exemption, which can be helpful. And then there's also the medical exemption form, you know, just again, so that people know what these forms are. And, you know, that's the kind of thing that those, these organizations help, right? Like complete the form and submit it to the county assistance office, but, just getting it, I think, in front of people is helpful. So,
Are you gonna share that? Can you email that?
yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm, those are the resources that I had thought of or, you know, came across and I thought would be good to distribute, in terms of like how we distribute it, where we distribute it, through working with Mon, you know, getting it to food pantries, to the pantry network. So yeah, the folks there again have that information. Also, you know, with grocers and retailers, particularly ones that might rely on or have high percentage of customers that use SNAP. Obviously, it's kind of in their interest to have folks maintain their SNAP benefits so they can spend that money at their store. So, you know, getting flyers that can be kind of put up on bulletin boards or things like that there. Community health centers. But yeah, definitely open to other suggestions or ideas here, once we kind of finalize the flyers and things about where those could be distributed. I also talked with Teresa Harris, our public health communications manager, about some social media posts, you know, with some of this information.
So I see that they're attached here to the agenda. Can I share that with my office and the care managers or wait until everything's like? finalized?
The two DHS forms you can definitely share, that one flyer, I'm still like, kind of I'm in communication with all those different providers, but just kind of want to confirm with them that, all the information is accurate and kind of it's okay to try and distribute this more widely. I don't anticipate that would be an issue. But yeah, just kind of want to dot those i's and cross those t's before sending things further out into the world, if that makes sense.
I have a quick question, just my ignorance on this process. So yeah, I just noted the best route. Like for if anyone was to collect those, the questionnaire and the exemption form, where like if for some reason I collected those from someone, what would I do with them then?
Yeah, so I mean, they all need to go to the county assistance office, but I guess I wouldn't encourage you to collect the forms.
Okay.
Just because, you know, I think there are forms that a SNAP recipient should be working with their caseworker to submit them.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I
So
think
just
really
like giving them a hard copy or giving them the details. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it looks like this form The exemption form must be going out to everybody who's currently getting them, because it says about there being an enclosed postage paid envelope.
Yeah,
Which if
DHS
you
is supposed
share-
to be mailing kind of stuff out to everyone, but I don't know exactly kind of what the timing and process of all that is.
I wonder, yeah, okay. Cause like also people might, maybe they, I don't know, I mean, I miss mail sometimes.
Right.
And then they'll end up.
Or-
getting-
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that's what, when I talked to Sandy from Visiting Nurses Association, she said that's kind of her biggest concern, that there will be people who qualify for an exemption and don't know that they have to submit the form, or don't receive the mail or something, that like people, and then will lose their benefits.
Rush the Carla.
Yeah,
Country.
yeah.
I'm wondering if you could distribute flyers through the library network again?
Oh, yeah, that's a good.
Or to
And the
senior
collaboratives,
centers. Hmm?
and the collaboratives.
Yeah, and this is something that I have not figured out, but through school district. I mean, it seems like every school has weekly newsletter or something, but I don't know how information gets disseminated to all school districts. If the intermediate unit sends things out, or if there's a way, especially since kids are qualifying for reduced cost meals through their enrollment in something like that, right?
Right. Yeah, that value is the first thought that I had of kind of how to connect with school districts. So I can reach out there, and maybe they would have other advice about where to go, but yeah, those are good ideas.
You know who I spoke to? I did a presentation to the nurses in all of our, like in Montgomery County School District. And the amount of information and the amount of contact that they have with the students and the parents was super surprising to me. I'm always thinking like counselors, like the office staff, the nurses have direct contact. So maybe send it to, I have to find the lady's name, but there's someone who like runs that.
Coordinates.
Yeah, all of the school nurses in all of the school districts in Montgomery County. So maybe her information, like we can send her the information too. Because again, I was just surprised, like I was doing sex trafficking, but they were like, we know who's hungry, we know who comes to the office, like to the nurses station because they haven't eaten, like she had a whole list of things.
Yeah, yeah,
So it was interesting, and they speak directly to the parents or the guardian.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have that contact and pass it along, that would be great. Like you're saying, it seems like that'd be a really good kind of point of contact there.
I can ask Montgomery County Community Connections too, to see if they do any like outreach or anything to the next.
Bring up a really good point, Carla, about sort of the medical field. And I don't know if this is sort of maybe too hard to do, or maybe there's an easier way to do it, but I know Mana has had this thing that they have this vision of ending hunger in North Penn completely. And that's very much in partnership with the local hospitals. I don't know if there's a way to do that at scale, because going hospital to hospital sounds really hard, but if there's a way to engage hospitals in the food security work, regionally, or the medical field, doing screenings or promoting staff benefits and stuff like that. They touch so many folks.
Yeah, yeah, I think like, I'm thinking of someone who works at Jefferson Einstein in Norristown, but they're like connect across the like hospital system. So that's like one hospital system with a few different locations. I don't know then how to reach, say, kind of some of the other ones, but
Not thinking of brand, right?
yeah. But Christina, and public health might have some ideas about how to get the word out more to the like hospital, healthcare, medical providers. Yeah. Well, great. This has been really helpful brainstorm here of other places to share this information.
Resilient student network maybe for the college students.
Hmm. Well, yeah, if anyone has other ideas, feel free to add them to this list here, or you know, you can just send me an email.
Janet Dice might be able to help hospitals too. I mean, she had been wanting to tell us for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what she's up to now.
I haven't seen her recently.
The other thing, whoops, just to mention on this, we had talked about kind of storytelling and capturing the impact of, kind of like the harm that will be caused by folks losing benefits. And so there's still some coordination that's happening kind of at a statewide level, about, what that storytelling or story collection process will look like. I think that will also connect with our kind of like awareness campaign. So we've talked about wanting to use stories in that process. So that's all still taking shape, but I think will be another component of it. Any other thoughts, ideas about SNAP outreach engagement? All right, well then I will work on getting this flyer finalized, so that I can share it, like you mentioned, Christy, kind of with your office and then out to kind of all these partners too. One thing, I guess, just thinking about aging services in particular, like the work requirements, there's an increase in the age for folks who the work requirements apply to. It went from 54 to 65. But I don't know how many folks that OAS works with that are under 65, I guess, because anyone over 65.
We're 60 and older.
Got it. Okay.
Even for Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way
so
to.
that could mean that 5 year, unless they're working,
Yeah.
they would get called.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a way to tailor or target the messages to just those in the 60 to 65 range that you work with. But I think that's an important population to reach. That's like Senator Haywood was saying at an event last week or this week that, he was getting calls from someone who's 62, who, his work requirements hadn't applied to previously, and now they will. So yeah, there's going to be, I think, more stories like that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Senior centers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about the senior centers because the senior centers all of our senior centers do Meals on Wheels. So I have the contacts for Meals on Wheels providers.
All the ones we do are senior boxes too. We have that.
Yeah.
The senior boxes, that CSFP program
Is that also 60?
and the
plus?
vouchers.
Got it. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's also still that.
Yeah.
Some folks there.
But then
Why did
the
we put
vouchers is
flyers
not.
into the box?
There is something that the state approved to go into those boxes. I can't remember if it's still an ongoing conversation or not, but I think contractual, we're not allowed to just put anything in the boxes. So thankfully, our state is on board with this. So I think there's something in the works.
Okay.
I don't know if it was approved yet, but yes. That'd be great.
And putting in the Meals on Wheels deliveries to people. Do that.
Also, the senior farmers market nutrition, like the vouchers. We have a group listing of all of those folks who are separate. Some of them are separate from our CSFP and Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can reach. We do all of this, we can reach everyone. I was at the office, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm getting out of my car and someone pulled out. And they were saying, hey, is there food in there? Like, what is this place? And, so I had a long conversation. They're homeless, living in the car. They had a puppy, and just giving them resources and talking to them. And the lady said, I get food stamps, but I guess they're going to be cut off soon. And so I told her to connect with the hospitality center. I told her that it moved, and I'm like, you need an address, because they're going, where's your address at? Like, what address are you using? She's using, and that's the problem with the population.
Yeah.
They just move around so much that they don't get their mail. And so the letters that are going out, on top of the fact that by the time the letter gets there, the deadline's in like a couple days.
Right.
Which was historically the problem when I worked in the ERN department. Their mailing system is just not great. It just sits so long before it goes out. Now everything is electronic, but again, you need the means to be able to do that. But anyway, I gave them a lot of resources, but those are the folk that I'm concerned with.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's why, wanting to kind of do this level of outreach and make sure that information gets out there, because
They just gave up already and they haven't even, nothing has happened yet.
yeah,
You know, for them.
right,
So I did send them to the office. I said, you need to like go down to the, I gave her a couple dollars for gas, like go down to the office and handle this. You don't have to wait for the letter. Go, so, it's in the office. It's coming, so just go there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
There was like 4 people living in the car.
Hmm.
And 3 of them had jobs.
well.
Do we know when this is all gonna hit?
Yeah, so some of it has started
Yeah,
September
numbers.
1st.
Yeah.
I think can't remember if it's October, I think it's November 1st. Is when the expansion to folks 65 and older, or up to 65. As well as a few other changes. But then it's, when the work requirements are in place, then it's, you can receive SNAP for 3 months within a 3-year period. So it will probably be, if people,
Next year we're slammed.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be the
so-
end of this year, beginning of next year that, we really start to see people, losing benefits if they, start to see people losing benefits.
So you can only get them for 3 months within a 3-year period. If you are,
If you're not working, if you have an exemption or meet the work requirements, then you can receive them as long as you are exempt or meeting requirements.
because I'm anticipating getting hit too.
Yeah, we all are, for sure.
Yeah.
Every county off, like everyone.
And I had mentioned that in the general membership meeting, like our Meals on Wheels is based on people who are homebound or living alone or somewhat homebound. Not based on, I can't afford food, so I need Meals on Wheels. So I anticipate that's what we'll get hit with. People just can't afford food and they're gonna call us, we can Meals on Wheels.
Right.
And then we're gonna give them all the other resources.
Right, yeah.
And then they're gonna Shannon.
Yeah. All right, well, just seeing it's 11:30. So does anyone have any announcements, updates, things to share before we wrap up?
The Mon conference got moved to November 14th. So you all are welcome.
And registration open.
Okay. Just save the date.
Got it.
Great, thanks, Shannon. Anyone else? Updates to share? All right, well, thanks, everyone. Say bye to you, Rachel, and then
Bye, Rachel.
Bye.
Bye, guys.